Hey YouTube, today I thought I'd give you guys an overview of the camera gear I have and show you what I use from day in, day out. So first off, I am a high school photographer, so I mainly cover stuff like sports, activities, student life, stuff like that. So I have quite a broad range of equipment just to cover all of that. Also, I do a lot of video as well. We have a website that I run on at the school, and that's just for interviews and sports, just little clips and stuff like that. So all the camera gear I have, I try to use it for both photography mainly, but also I do quite a bit of video. Alright, so without further ado, here goes the overview. Alright, so I will first start off with the tripod I was just using. This is a Manfrotto tripod. I don't know exactly what the tripod is. The head is a 503, I believe, HD, or HDV. Yeah, there you go. HDV. Great head. This is quite a large tripod, and right now it could go up another, I don't know, 1.5 feet or so. But what I use this for is, like, I'll be up in the stadiums or something and covering football. Well, usually when I'm covering football I'll be on the sideline, but basketball or something, whenever I have a telephoto lens on and I really need a real smooth, sturdy head on there. So it's a great tripod. I absolutely love it. It is quite heavy, but when I have it all put away in its case, it is pretty decent and easy to use. So that's my main tripod. I also have a smaller tripod that I use for long exposures on the camera and stuff. Like whenever I want to take a tripod somewhere and I don't want to haul that around, I don't have that tripod with me, the smaller one right now. But I also have a monopod, and this is what I mainly use when I'm on the sidelines covering stuff like football, just to give the images, or if I'm taking video, a little bit more stability. That way I can bring my shutter down. Well, I guess when I'm shooting football I don't really bring my shutter down that much, but it's just better to have it stable, especially for video. Alright, so that's the tripods and stabilizing devices. Right here what I've got is well, actually two straps. This is a Black Rapid shoulder strap, and it's awesome. I would highly recommend this, and I know a lot of pros use these. Really cool strap. So basically it goes over your shoulder on one side, and then it goes across your abdomen, and then connects to your camera. Sorry, I've got a really I've got a 1.8 f-stop aperture right now. It's pretty shallow. Anyways, this connects to your camera, and then this hook connects onto this, which is obviously connected to your camera, and it works great. And that way I can sling my camera up whenever I need it, and then it's resting on my shoulder when I don't need it. Now, I usually carry around two cameras to big events. My main camera, what I'm using right now, which I'll get to later, and also smaller one. So I've got the second strap there. So for large events it's nice to have that, because then I can have both cameras on my sides, and it's very comfortable, and then I'm not messing with shoulder straps that keep coming down or anything. It's just really stable. Alright, so I guess I'll start off with my first camera bag. I'm going to change lenses real quick, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so now I got a much wider lens on, which will make this a little bit easier. And to start off, this camera bag is more of a storage bag, and it just stays in my Tahoe while I go out and shoot or whatever. But what I've gotten here is just my backup camera, and then also some gear that I don't use or don't keep in my main bag. So first off, my backup camera is a Canon T2i. Currently I've got a 28 to 135 millimeter lens mounted on it, and this lens is pretty nice. It was either this or the 18 to 135 millimeter lens that I had to choose from, because I bought it with the kit with my main camera. And I decided to go with this lens because I didn't really like the build quality of the 18 to 55 millimeter that came with this. And the 18 to 135 is built off that same, I guess, build quality. So anyways, this is a nice lens. I was pretty impressed with the optics of it. This camera is great just if I need to take a quick photo, and usually when I've got both cameras on me, I'll have like this with one of my telephoto lenses, and then my main camera with my main zoom lens that I use. As far as SD card, I've got a 32 gig Transcendent Class 10 card. Not the most amazing card in the world, but it's fast and it has a lot of storage, which is great for what I need. I've got a battery grip. It's not a Canon brand like my main cameras, but it works just fine, and it holds two batteries, which is really nice when you're shooting a lot of video. Also, I've had this camera actually overheat a couple times on me shooting video because it's such a hog. Alright, so next I have a Zoom H1 microphone. Now this is actually, well, it's actually a recorder I should call it, but it's got microphones on it, and it's quite nice. If I'm doing a video that needs to have a high production value, then I'll use this to record audio from my microphones, or just use this to do voiceovers. By itself, it's a decent mic. Alright, so in here I've got a 18 to 55 millimeter kit lens. I don't really use this. I guess it's just nice to have a variety of lenses, but I don't know, maybe someday I'll need that, or I can give to somebody if they don't have a lens with them that they need. This is just a Panasonic HD camera. I don't really use this much, but it's nice to have in case I need to have multiple shots, and also if I need to do time-lapse, because these DSLRs are topped at, I think, somewhere around 16 minutes, so if I need to do a really long shot, I'll use this. It's kind of cool. It's got a 60 frames per second progressive at 1080p, which is a nice feature to have. Yeah, and also I've got a viewfinder. What this is for is it connects to the back of my T2i via magnets. It just kind of helps with stability when I'm shooting video. I usually use my main camera, not this for video, but it's still nice to have that viewfinder. Alright, so in here, I don't think I have anything. Nope. And then I'm just gonna check these outer pockets. Yeah, I just have some accessories like a little grip thing, because this has a shoe on it, or a mount for a tripod. And I can just use this like a little handle to hold that. Also, I've got some SD cards, batteries, and random stuff like that. I've got another HD camera similar to this one, but not quite as good, which I never used. I should probably take out of my camera bag. And then one of my favorite lenses of all time, and I absolutely love this, a Canon L series 70 to 200 millimeter lens. Here, I'll take the hood off real fast so you can see. Now this is a great lens. It's got image stabilization, and it's got a constant aperture of f2.8. I just absolutely love this lens, especially for sports. If I'm shooting down on the bleachers or on the field for football, I can get the shutter speed up pretty fast, and of course that shallow depth of field's nice, and just real beast of a lens. And as far as a lens filter, I've got a 77mm B&H filter, and it's just a UV haze filter, and also I don't know exactly the model. It was around $105, so if you're interested, I'm sure you could find that on B&H or something. Yeah, great lens. I use that all the time for sports. And one side note is these filters. When we have 4 of these lenses in our school, and like when I got it, none of them had filters, and I'm very cautious with my gear and take good care of it, but a lot of kids aren't. I was just surprised, because I'd hate to see one of these lenses get scratched or something, and then have a $2,000 lens go to waste. So I bought filters for all of these, and also bought filters for some of the nicer cameras or lenses, and I still need to get a filter for this. Anyway, so that is that camera bag, and next I will show you my main camera bag. Alright guys, so here's my main camera bag, and this includes all the stuff that I use most of the time and just my favorite gear. Alright, so on the side here I have a 50mm prime constant aperture of f1.8. Of course it's going to be constant aperture, what am I thinking? Plastic Fantastic, as some people call it, or the Nifty 50. This is a really great lens, and I started off the video with it because, well, I don't have the best lighting here in my room, and you can just open the aperture way up and get tons of lighting. Great little lens. It's a really cheap lens. It's about $125, and for the quality you get, I love it. And for some shots that I need the really shallow depth of field, or especially for video, it's a great tool to have. All right, so on the other side here, I've got just a charger. Nothing fancy there for my main camera. I just keep it with me because the batteries are really good, actually, and I don't need to charge them much. Alright, I guess I'll show you guys the main camera here first. Alright, so my main setup here is a 7D. I love this camera, especially for sports. Being a high school photographer, I don't need a full frame camera, but the 8 frames a second are just awesome. Yeah, sorry about the screen, I was just using it. I need to clean it off. Alright, so Canon 7D. I've had this for about, I want to say 2 months now, and I love it. Great upgrade. I was using a 40D and T2i before this, and the 60D is definitely nice, especially because I do a lot of video. It's nice to have all those manual controls for video. Like right now I'm using T2i to film this, and I'm using all auto, which is fine for a video like this, but for anything nice, or for anything professional, it's nice to be able to control it all. So yeah, I won't do an overview of the 60D because I'm sure you guys have seen this before. Attached to the 60D, I have a L series Canon lens. It's a 24 to 70mm. And it's got a constant aperture of f2.8. I absolutely love this lens. This lens, my 70 to 200, and the third lens that I've got over here, which is a Sigma 10 to 20mm constant aperture of f3.5. these are my 3 favorite lenses, and they're just awesome. I absolutely love it. And I've got, of course, 70 to 200 millimeters. That whole spectrum is covered by that telephoto lens. Then I've got 70 to 24, and then I've got a 20 to 10. So I've got basically the full range covered. And all 3 of these are, you know, heavy, lots of glass, great lenses. I just feel so lucky to be able to use them. Because I know when I go to college, I won't be buying that much money worth of camera gear. I'll probably just get like a 70 or a I don't know, 60D or something like that. Anyways, this is my flash. It's a 430EX. It's not the Mark II one. I'm thinking about getting, well, I definitely want to get another flash. I don't know if I'm going to go with the 580 or 430EX Mark II, but I know other students, it'd be nice to get them with flashes because this is the only external flash that we have. One cool feature that I really like about the 7D is being able to wirelessly trigger this. I've heard it's not stable all the time, like sometimes it won't fire, but I've never run into issues. Of course, I'm not covering wedding events or anything where there's a bunch of photographers. It's just usually me or a couple other kids with not using external flashes. Alright, so that is my main gear. Oh yeah, as far as CF card, I have a 32 gig Transcendent. You know, Transcendent's pretty cheap, and I've had really good luck with them, so I don't buy SanDisk anymore. Just that way I can save money. And this was almost $200 by itself, which is kind of expensive. It's a 600 times or whatever, so it's got about 90 megabits per second, or megabytes per second, I believe it is, read and write speeds, which is awesome because I usually shoot in RAW plus JPEG. The way we upload photos for our yearbook, our publisher is Jostens, and the software they give us only supports JPEGs. So for most students, we just shoot in JPEG or with JPEG, but I also shoot in RAW plus JPEG just because this camera is so fast, and I've got plenty of storage. If you guys want to watch my other video, you can see that, but I've got quite a bit of storage over there. That's my computer overview. Anyway, so I don't really worry about space, and it's just nice because if I get a really cool photo that I want to put on one of the divider pages of the yearbook or something, then I can really go to town editing it with RAW. Anyway, so that's that. I've also have a 16 gig version of the exact same card I just showed you guys down in there. Also have just a card reader and some basic stuff like that. And then I believe that is everything. Oh, by the way, I have the same filter that I have on the other lens over there. It's just a 77mm B&W UV filter. And this is an 82mm B&W UV filter. Yeah. And then also I have a awesome polarizing filter. This is by Hoya, I believe. It was a little, I think it was just over $200. Pretty nice, and it's a circular polarizing filter, so I can twist the front element of it around and kind of adjust it. Great for anything like really landscape shots it's good for, which I don't take a whole lot of for yearbook, but I don't know, photos of student cars, or even if it's just really bright out. I love having the polarizing filter, it's very handy. Then I just have a bunch of batteries, a couple 9 volts, and then a bunch of AA's. That's one thing I really need to get, because we have a decent budget, I just haven't done it yet, but rechargeable batteries, because these regular batteries are, I don't ever run into it where I need a super fast recharge speeds. I mean, for sports it's nice, but that's one thing I really needed to invest in, because I just go through batteries like a madman with this flash. But I've got 2 sets that replace this twice, and I've also had those batteries for the Rode mic, because in case I let you leave it on, or one of the other kids, because we have a couple Rode mics, in case they leave it on. So I guess lastly, I'll just run over to the bathroom real quick, which is kind of awkward, but yeah, it doesn't matter, and show you guys the microphone. So this is a Rode Videomic Pro. It's really awesome, and I've used the other microphones that they've had, like the Rode Videomic, which is the predecessor to this one, and very nice improvements. Like you have a dB increase or decrease, it will go plus 10 or minus 10 dB on the back, which is really handy, especially when you're using DSLRs. And then it's just smaller form factor, and everything's designed a little bit better. But yeah, I love that microphone, use it all the time for video stuff. It's quite handy to have. Yeah, so that's about it. That is my camera tour. I'm usually getting new camera gear and just exploring with different stuff, but for high school photography, I feel like I've got a decent setup. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Alright, bye.